Hello lovely people, welcome to Prime Strings. I'm Henriette and today is, I can't believe it, it's day 25 of the Virtual Violin Practice Playalong. It's so good to see you here and still with us after all that time. Here in the UK we're still in lockdown, so I'm going to keep this series going for as long as it lasts. And today we're going to practice some spiccato bowing, we're going to improve our position changing, we're going to explore the key of G minor, and then we're going to hit our improvisation as soon as we can. So let's get all your things together and let's get started. We are going to start today by tuning up, and here is your A. And here is your E. This is your D string. And here is your G. And let's tune in double stops now. Here's A and E. A and D. G and D. Lovely. Today we're going to go and check over our bow hold again, and we have discussed this in previous lessons. We're going to have a better bow hold every time, and as you make progress, that bow hold will keep on developing as well, because we need a super bow hold for our spiccato, which is going to come later on. So let's just practice letting the bow go up towards the ceiling, and then you squeeze the bow and letting it come down. And let go of, stretch your fingers. So undo that squeezing and squeeze again as you go up and straighten again as you go down. All the time, keeping your right shoulder low if you can. Bend it, straighten it. Bend it, including your thumb, there, and straighten it. One more time, bend, stretch. Bend, oh that's 2 times, stretch. There we go. All right, very nice. Now we know that when we were practicing the spiccato, we said there are 3 ingredients to a good spiccato. First is that you have to be at the balance point of the bow. So yesterday we put a little marker on our bow to find out where exactly the balance point is. So if you haven't got one, then I suggest you find out where the balance point is and mark it with a tiny little pencil line on your bow so that you can find it back really easily. So the balance point is the first criteria that we're thinking about. The second one is if you put a little pretend chalk on the end of your elbow, you draw little smiley faces in the air, like that. And our third ingredient for a good spiccato is our flexible bow hold. Now your flexible bow hold, we've already practiced, so good job. Let's play some spiccatos on an A string today. So find your balance point, do little smiley faces and off we go. Well done. Now I'd like you to listen out to the start of each note, and I want you to listen whether you have got a very clean start to each note or whether your start of each note is a bit crunchy. So if you get this, can you hear that? That's not as delicate as this. That's the difference. Or this. How do I make that difference? When I'm really gripping the bow, I get the more crunchy sound. When I'm soft with my hands, I've got my shock absorbers on and the sound is much more delicate. That's it. Now, if you have a very wild jumping bow, it means that your smiley faces are way too big. So we're not doing it like that, but you're going to go mini smileys, shall we say. Let's practice that, shall we, at the balance point? That's it. And once you are more established with your spiccato and you are happy with the sound that you create, let's now go from the balance point, which is here on my bow. Let's go slightly higher and see what happens. So we're starting at the balance point and then gradually creeping up a little bit with our bow. And now we're going back. What just happened? Have you noticed something? Did you notice I went a little bit faster? Not because I wanted to go faster or I deliberately played faster, but because the bow bounces faster as it gets thinner. Okay, so when you move up towards the middle, the stick of your bow gets a little bit thinner and you get a little bit faster. Let's try that again, shall we? And move back. So that is something that you can use in your music if you want some variation in louds and softs, in dynamics or in speed. You can adjust that spiccato level gently. Now this time let's do the opposite and let's go to below the balance point, shall we? So we're starting at the balance point, still on the A string, and back. There we are. You notice that as you go down towards the heel of the bow more, you have to more actively engage with the bow. It doesn't quite jump up as easily as it would do nearer the middle of the bow, shall we say. So you can be a bit more broad with your smiley faces if you go towards the heel from the balance point. Shall we try that once again? Ready? And back. There we are. That's good. And depending on the style of the music that you're playing, you can make use of those delicate changes. Whether you want to be a bit lighter or a bit more broad, you can alter the level of your spiccato jumps as you go along. So well done, that's very, very good. Now let's play our arpeggios now. We're going to start at the heel of the bow and we're going to draw that little line, that little crescent shape in the air with my elbow and back up again. And then you'll notice that you will move from one string to another. So we're not actively going from one string to another with your wrist or your hand. No, you let the hand and the wrist follow your elbow. On the G string, here we go. And exercise will sound a bit different for every person. It's quite nice to know, isn't it, that there are lots of people practicing this exercise with us at this moment, and we are not all going to make exactly the same shaped curve here with our little pretend chalk. So it's quite nice to know that yours can be slightly different from mine, and then another person's can be slightly different again. Let's practice it one more time, shall we? Your version, and that is very, very nice. Lovely job. So now let's play a G minor scale, shall we? And we said the difference between a G major scale and a G minor scale is that the third note comes closer. So when I play the second finger on the G string, it comes right next to the first finger on the G string. And then we've said in earlier lessons, the ending of minor scales can be very different from one minor scale to another, but we are playing harmonic minor, which means that your first finger on the D string, this is the sixth note of the scale as you play it, the first finger on D is going to be back, so it's an E flat, and the seventh note of the scale is the F sharp. You've got a gap and a half, a space and a half, a tone and a half between E flat and F sharp. And then you get your third finger, which is the top note of the G minor scale. So let's play the G minor scale with long bows, playing every note twice, and we're going super slow, checking your thumb here, checking your wrist, that your wrist is not like this, but it's pushed out like that. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. You may have noticed that I've been keeping a good eye out on the contact point where my bow is in contact with the strings, and I suggest you do that as well, because we want to make sure that, especially since we're playing on the G string, that your bow is straight, in other words parallel to the bridge. So let's play the G minor scale again, and Lovely. Let's now play the G minor scale. Each note 8 times spiccato. Here we go. 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. So next let's play a G minor arpeggio, and now we're going to come back to our weighted playing. So we want your shoulder to be in its lowest position and really dig the bow into the string by hanging off it. Here we go. After 3. 1, 2, 3. Well done, and you're just improving your tone quality all the time on that. So now let's play some position changes next. We're going to be on the A string. First finger starts, and we're going to swing that elbow. So give it a bit of a dry swing first of all. So we're loosening up all your muscles. Lovely job. And here we go. And that is going better and better every day we practice it. Now I just want to go back to our swinging out and swinging under. And this time I want you to try, if you are finding that you're not quite reaching the note where you're aiming for, I want you to try and swing a little bit more. Okay, if you're not quite coming back from your high note, push it a little bit further under and then swing back a little bit more than you used to do. However, if you overshot it, it means that you're perhaps swinging your elbow a little bit too much. So give it a tiny swing and a tiny swing back. So let's fine tune it a little bit depending on what has happened in your playing. So if you have not quite reached it, swing a little bit harder. If you have overshot it, swing a little bit less with your elbow. So we're doing the same thing again. And super playing. Let's do some improvising, shall we? Okay, so we're going to improvise in the key of G minor, and you've got the notes of the G minor scale and the G minor arpeggio in your head, and we're playing 4 sections. Okay, so 4 phrases, and I want you to try and make your phrase contrasting to mine. So this time, today, if I play a legato phrase, can you play a staccato one? If I play a staccato one, can you play a legato one? If I play a quiet one, can you play a loud one? And the other way around as well. So we're adding some louds and softs today. We haven't really listened to that very much in previous lessons, so that's our new thing today. So in the key of G minor, here is the first one. Well done if you've managed that. So it gets a bit darker and a bit sadder here in this improvisation, isn't it? Let's do a different one. Very well done. I think I lost count a little bit there, but we were going along quite nicely. So well done for trying to contrast all the things that I've played. And I've tried to add some loud playing and some soft playing as well. So let's explore that a little bit more. And let's also today explore some sound effects. So here we go. was that for you? I can't wait to hear how you've been getting on with this. So do please, please, please write in the comment section below this video what you found, how you found it manageable or not. Please tell me as well if you find it horrible and difficult. Then I can address that in future videos, you see. However, if you've enjoyed it, please write that as well. And if you have used special effects, perhaps you can write about that as well. Like I did some pizzicato and a big glissando up to the top. Have you used those? And if so, how did it work for you? So I can't wait to hear your responses there. For now, I'm hoping you have enjoyed this video, and I shall be back tomorrow with day 26. So I very much look forward to seeing you again then. Goodbye.